Hi, my name is Vuk and I'm the host of the Change podcast, where we introduce you to people and ideas shaping MENA region. Our guest today is a digital transformation director working with Cognizant, experienced in delivering strategic programs and organization capabilities for large-scale organizations. He is an expert in blockchain, mobility, artificial intelligence, experienced in a variety of business domains such as healthcare, airlines, government, utility, retail, education, marketing, and construction. He is a keynote speaker and a mentor. And without further ado, I would like to welcome to this episode of the Change podcast, Mr. Marouan Aouri. Hi, Marouan. Thank you for coming. It's a pleasure to talk to you today. So, as our viewers are already familiar, we are introducing people from the region who are having interesting background stories and interesting career paths, but it's always kind of interesting to know what led you to United Arab Emirates, and how did you pick United Arab Emirates as your home country after being born in Tunisia, lived in Canada, then Qatar, and then ended up in United Arab Emirates. Can you just bring us closer a bit more to the story and how you ended up in UAE?
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with you, Vuk, and with your audience. This is great work you are doing in the change, and you are really shaping the MENA region in terms of thought leadership, bringing people together. Thank you very much for all your effort on that.
You're welcome, Aaron. You're welcome. We're happy to have you here.
In fact, UAE is developing an amazing reputation across the globe in terms of bringing the top brain across the globe, in terms of having a strong vision and realizing it, in terms of putting the right resources and having open mind to go through this kind of guidance, vision, and maturity of the process required to bring this vision to life.
Mm-hmm.
All those elements have not gone unnoticed across the globe. Many countries are now considering UAE to be a role model. It's like Singapore for Far Asia, but now Dubai is much more famous on different stand. The tallest building and the blockchain and AI, all of these are elements that is bringing attention from technology people like myself, from business people like many people. So we consider this as an alternative to Canada because of different options. First criteria was it's a perspective of cosmopolitan. So we can meet with many nationalities. We can deliver at a higher scale. There is a lot of open mind to realize big project and big vision. There is resources that is behind this vision. And I knew many of my colleagues who are expert in their domain, and they choose UAE as destination. The last element, I like the weather. So in Canada, it was a bit cold. So living in Quebec City and Montreal, at some point in time, it was minus 40, minus 45 sometimes. So we said maybe it's a good time to change the weather and to enjoy the beach while still delivering exciting projects.
I couldn't agree more with you. I think there is a misconception about this region that it's too hot, but actually we have just a couple of months, maybe 2 months of very hot weather. But other than that, we have around 10 months of amazing weather. So I think it's a good place to be, and I couldn't agree more about the ecosystem and the technology and the leadership, and I think there is a lot of potential in this country. So today you are working as a digital transformation director with Cognizant, one of the major, you are going to better explain, but there are a lot of things: system integrator consultant, digital transformation consultant, and I think your role today is more relevant than ever. But can you bring us closer to the role and what you're exactly doing within the role and within a company?
In fact, in the concept of digital transformation, you can see it as an evolution of the word technology implementation. So technology implementation is about enabling organization with a new set of tools, new set of products, new set of capabilities. Digital transformation It's mainly about bringing a little bit more focus on the business enablement, is how to introduce disruptive technologies in order to enable the business in a way that is not possible otherwise. To make it a little bit more simple, it's a way that we can rethink the business model through technologies. Talabat, Uber, all those organizations, they were not in the landscape, but technology made them alive. There is a lot of business that now is thriving, even though we are in a coronavirus context, because it's mainly driven by technology. Amazon is now showing their highest and top records in terms of profitability and revenue. This is because of COVID-19. And now COVID-19, we can observe that a crisis plus readiness make you thrive in terms of opportunity. Crisis doesn't mean necessarily being poor or getting in trouble. But when people are not ready, when organizations are not ready, when they are not enabled with the technology of the day, with the processes of the day, and with the workforce capability of the day, trouble is around the corner.
No, absolutely. And I obviously crises like this are bringing a lot of tough times, but are bringing a lot of opportunities. And I think this crisis is going to especially highlight the importance of technology and how technology is important. You can already see a majority of the companies being a lot more open to hear what can they do better, how they can leverage the technology to go forward. Obviously, we are living, especially in this country, there is a lot of talk about digital transformation and innovation and all of these buzzwords, but there is a lot of method behind that, and the actual expertise is not that kind of high level. So what would you say are commonly held belief about digital transformation that you would passionately disagree with, that you can see around us?
Okay, one key element is digital transformation is something completely new.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really true. It's a myth.
Mm-hmm.
It's an evolution of an existing practice, which is building technology that is useful for the business,
Mm-hmm.
building technology that is relevant for the business value, either to increase revenue or to increase efficiency or to reduce cost or to make clients more happy and satisfied. These are the common objectives that we always had. But to the name, sometimes we put new stickers, new name, because we need to refresh it based on some kind of evolution in the concepts.
So obviously, as with your experience, and as I again couldn't agree more, digital transformation, as they say, it's just transformation. Digital, obviously, we are living in the age of technology, and digital become inevitable. It's obvious that it's digital. So what would you say that are some of the things that everyone engaged in digital transformation efforts should stop doing?
Thinking that technology or product will fix the problem. Thinking that it's all about the product, it's all about the tool. It's not really true. It's about the process. It's about the maturity of the organization. It's about the organization and collaboration in the organization. It's mainly also about workforce enablement in terms of skills, in terms of competencies, in terms of accreditation, in terms of certifications. All of those elements are really the basis of the iceberg. The tool is the tip of the iceberg that sometimes is a little bit misleading. The tool will not solve digital transformation. We need transformation across the three pillars: people, process, and technology.
and then first two, actually the last one can't work without the first two. And probably you can witness a lot of requirements where there is a requirement, like, let's implement AI. All right, because, or what kind of problem are we going to solve with AI or blockchain? And definitely very common to see that people are hoping that technology would solve all their problems without impacting the actual manual processes that are happening in the background, of human interactions or human processes. So on the opposite side of the things that people should stop doing, what are the things regarding digital transformation that companies, organizations should start doing?
Is focus on the real problem by identifying specific use cases. A specific use case is in an airline, for example. Today, we want to offer a better product. By offering a better product, either we offer more option, more flexibility, less price, more availability. We need to add specific value added to the customer. Let's consider someone who is trying now to do a booking. When we offer the booking experience to a passenger, we can in fact embed artificial intelligence to get information about preferences, about other products that could bring value to that particular passenger, for that particular gender, for that particular age, for that particular category or ethnicity, and specific to the destination where he's going. When we can embed artificial intelligence in this specific use case to add value, clear value to the passenger, to give him a better product, this is where we succeed in the implementation of artificial intelligence, I believe.
I see. No, yeah, I couldn't agree more. So you mentioned briefly airlines, and obviously we're in a turbulent period. A lot of things are going on. A lot of industries are being impacted, but airlines and airports are being impacted probably at a scale maybe the most. What can we expect going forward now with these industries?
This is a very good point, Vuk, and unfortunately, airlines are really witnessing a very difficult time now with COVID-19. And we are talking about a drastic reduction of the number of passengers, obviously, which is reducing a lot the need for the resources working for the airline, which is reducing a lot of the efforts that is required to maintain this organization afloat. One key element that maybe people doesn't know enough is airline is not very well known by its high profitability. It's an industry that is already running on a very thin profitability. So operational excellency and revenue generator and increasing loyalty are key. But in this particular situation of pandemic, we are really facing, I believe, a shaping situation here. While the different airlines may need to rethink investing in a different industry to have some kind of different and wider and variation in their portfolio. We remember Boeing, when they invested in large farms in the United States in order to have more variation in their portfolio, in order to generate more cash and create some kind of stability in their revenue generation. Maybe today in the region, we need to rethink about the revenue generation of the airline. What other product an airline can do with its assets, with its brand, with its knowledge, with its efficiency. An airline is known for its airline business. However, we need to rethink, maybe there is better business model that could support, especially in this context of pandemic, that can generate a revenue. We can think about entertainment. We can think about training. We can think about technology enablement to the community. Why not exposing the community to more knowledge about piloting,
Mm-hmm.
about managing an aircraft.
Mm-hmm.
You may generate a more or smarter way of creating entertainment. We
Mm-hmm.
have an equivalent one for kids when you can use different profession and to select which one you like.
Mm-hmm.
But today, imagine if you are able to go to an airport and to be in a cockpit
Mm-hmm.
and to have a training on piloting and discover this could be a little bit different from going to the mall.
No, absolutely, yeah, and I think it's obviously on the right track when you said that the industry itself, especially after so many years and decades operating on a very similar business model, there was not a huge difference in change in the business model. You can see only the competition growing and their margins getting smaller and smaller, which push them to work on the operational excellence and so on. And we can see in other industries, for example, like telcos reinventing themselves and completely pivoting their initial business models to switch to something else. Would you be able to make a bet or a guess in what's the most likely direction that airlines and airports will go in the coming years?
I think we'll see a lot of merger and acquisition.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see more consolidation in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make sense to have duplicated number of aircraft, duplicated assets. Now it's time for more optimization,
Mm-hmm.
more operational excellency. This is definitely something that is happening in the globally, but I believe it will happen also in the region.
Mm-hmm.
More than that, I think things are still a little bit more blurry.
Mm-hmm.
But by the introduction of the technology, I think we can increase the client experience, improve the client experience.
Mm-hmm.
We can increase the revenue and we can increase the efficiency. Today, there is a lot of activity that is done manually. We can automate them using robotic processing automation. Many work behind the scene that we believe many years ago, it's only feasible through a human being. Today, with the innovation we are having in terms of RPA, it is definitely feasible to optimize there.
But absolutely, even if you think about the whole concept of going to the airport, no matter what class, ticket class you bought, it's the same process. You need to go to the airport, you need to be there some time in advance, you need to give your luggage, you need to get into a plane, which is still the same plane. You need to come out, wait for the luggage, go back to the hotel. It's a very lengthy process. There is a lot of touch points that could be optimized with technology, but more importantly, the time that passengers are spending basically with you is the time where you can offer them a lot of other services, right?
Absolutely true. In fact, one key element that is happening in the business travel, a major industry is management consulting. Management consulting are known for traveling very frequently, almost on a weekly basis to different countries and using airlines. Those people, they have specific needs. They need a comfortable place to work because usually they are very well stretched in terms of timeline. Their rates are high and there is a lot of expectation. So they need to take any moment of their time in order to focus and to produce. If airlines are able to provide them with this kind of context, this kind of enablement, this kind of comfort, we will see an increase in terms of usage, in terms of upskilling, and in terms of upscaling. In fact, we can add much more service on the ground. Uh, let's take a very easy example: a headset with a noise canceling.
Wow.
It
Very
is
simple
very
solution.
helpful for someone to work on aircraft. A
Exactly.
virtual reality cask. You are still in the same aircraft, but with a virtual reality cask, you are able to experience a different reality, to be much more relaxed. So there is some room of improvement, and we need to be a little bit more open-minded to introduce those innovation. And there is one interesting context that we can use. It's the concept of A/B testing. In technology, when we are launching a new product, we don't want to go full only on one direction. We want to validate with the market. We can launch a product in different variation and see how the guests are behaving or reacting to that reality. And then we invest a little bit further on that innovation.
Yeah, it's this repetitive cycle which is giving you opportunity to get the feedback and then improve the product or select the right product based on the actual feedback of the actual passengers and so on. Super interesting. I'm going to switch topic to workforce enablement, and you said that it's a key pillar to digital transformation, or if we remove the word digital, just transformation. Can you explain to our listeners, first of all, what is workforce enablement, and then second, why is it important?
Excellent. Now, you are asking about one of the topics that I am really passionate about it.
Okay, that is the goal.
Excellent. In fact, in the past 18 years of my experience, if there is one conclusion I found is knowledge is the main driver of success. Personal development is the main driver of success. And by success, I mean a sustainable success, not an accidental success. I understand meeting with a billionaire that will hand you 2 million will make you accidentally successful. But after a few years, maybe that 2 million will not exist. However, if you build your knowledge progressively and sustainably in area that is required by the marketplace, you will be sustainably successful. And in fact, there is a quote from Jim Rohn. He was saying, I found a direct correlation between my bank account and my personal development. The more I developed myself, the more my bank account grew. And it grows from a sustainable curve. Today, let's consider today we have two professionals. Two professionals, they are both working, let's say, as developers or as analysts. In the marketplace, they are both having, let's say, a salary of 15,000 dirham, which is an introductory salary for many the developers. One of them go home every day and use Facebook and Netflix, and that's it. This is his day. The second one, go back home and take the time to learn about Angular, to learn about React, to learn about user experience, to know about design thinking, to know about Scrum Master. Guess what is happening in the next 1 year maximum? The second developer is eligible for 25,000 dirham a month. Maybe the first developer would say, hey, why is getting a promotion? Maybe he knows somebody. Maybe he has a better passport color than mine. Maybe he's just by chance. They will discover later on he is not capable. So all of these are excuses, I believe.
Yeah.
Next one, the same person, after that 1 year, he is improving himself by learning on Amazon Web Services or Azure Cloud. He's now certified in Azure Developer, then Azure Architect. And guess what? This guy now is eligible for a salary of 35,000 because the bracket of Cloud Architect is much higher than the bracket of developer. Now this person is working on an industry that is a commodity, let's say, or very well known that is not paying a lot. He is saying, oh, now let me develop a certification in healthcare integration or a certification in utility integration. So now he will go for a niche in a specific industry. For example, in healthcare, you find the niche of DICOM for integration imaging diagnosis, or HL7 for integration between electronic medical records. By the way, it is well implemented here in UAE and globally. So this person now, he's becoming very specialized, and now he's updating his profile on LinkedIn, saying I'm certified in this and this and this and that. Next time you have a recruiter who is approached by a management consulting company implementing an electronic medical record, let's say Malafi in Abu Dhabi, for example, looking for an HL7 expert who can implement electronic medical record with an integration with the cloud, using a context in which there is agile implementation. Guess what? Our friend now is ticking all the boxes. And since there is no much competition in a niche like healthcare integration, he can now negotiate for having 45,000 or even 50,000 dirham without even knowing anybody in the country or in the industry. He's just working on himself, making himself more relevant to the marketplace, more valuable to the marketplace.
I think that's a very nicely told story that is going to, I believe, inspire a lot of people. What I like to say, and talking to my team, is make a comparison between individual and the business. And I like to say that you are your own business. The company that you are working in is your industry. And the companies that you're competing against or other companies are other industries. And you always need to work on yourself as a business and growing. Imagine the business that is operating in a market and not progressing or not evolving or not adding new services to its portfolio. Probably after some time is not going to be relevant anymore. Similar goes with with professionals. So and I think that's a very important subject to talk about. Probably from everyday experience, we can see a lot of people actually living the type A lifestyle, not realizing that 10 years down the road, that type of lifestyle would probably define who they are and how they're positioned in business, and then how they can support their family and so on. If we talk about workforce on the company level, how do you approach workforce now? Okay, these are individuals, but now you're addressing a company of thousands of people. How do you approach overall workforce enablement in the company?
Very good. In fact, in terms of any major organization today that is aware of its market, is understanding that technology is evolving very fast in a cycle of 2 to 3 years, which is forcing all of us to be on our toes, to make sure that we are relevant to the marketplace. We cannot afford to work, let's say, in a niche of a technology of 10 years ago because it is still generating money. It is definitely very dangerous. If I implemented, let's say, SAP 10 years ago, and I keep investing in my practice as Cognizant only in SAP, or as Accenture only in SAP, I am most likely locking myself. Even though SAP is a very strong brand and very strong capability, but the market is having also other trends and other capability that are on the market, which is, for example, digital. Digital, every organization now needs to redefine itself. In Cognizant, for example, we redefined ourselves by becoming digital, not only doing digital, which is mainly defined by 3 levels, which is digital technology, digital engineering, and digital business. Digital technology will have layers like infrastructure and cloud. Digital engineering is building solution based on agile, based on pods, based on user experience that is embedded in the solution. based on product management mindset instead only project management mindset. And digital business is by making sure that we are optimizing the user journey, that we are increasing the efficiency of the process, to make sure that whatever we are building is relevant to your business, either to your bottom line or to the happiness of your customer, to create the concept of loyalty.
Very
As
interesting.
Nick is saying, loyalty is different from repeated buying. Repeated buying is much less sustainable than loyalty. Loyalty is when your people, your clients, your guests stick with you in difficult time.
Super interesting. To build on top of that, kind of putting together these two topics, obviously there is a lot of people who are currently confused about their next steps, whether they should stay where they are, move somewhere else, change the company, change the industry. These kind of times are bringing at the same time a good opportunity for one to grow and to thrive and to go to the next step. What would you advise those people as a mentor? Because if I'm as I know you are mentoring a lot of people around you as well. What are the advices that you give them during these times, which are good but also present an opportunity for them?
In fact, the first advice is to analyze their industry. Am I in an industry that is highly competitive, where I don't have a lot of unique selling points in my profile? So technically, am I a commodity? Am I in position that people can say to me goodbye without feeling any impact on the organization, without feeling any impact on the revenue, without feeling any impact on client satisfaction? Or am I someone who is having specific characteristics that are highly in demand in my organization? I am the one bringing the deals. I am the one solving the problems. I am the one getting the solution to the markets. I am the one that the client are asking about. They want to see, they want to deal with. When I'm having a high level of impact, this is where I have this some kind of security. Next step is to evaluate. Am I really relevant in terms of industry, which is the macro level? The micro level is my profile in my organization. The macro level is the industry. Is a profile of solution architect, for example, in demand in the market? Quick search, Indeed.com or LinkedIn jobs. How many new jobs in solution architecture? How many jobs in the marketplace? Because as you may know, a job description on the marketplace is reflecting a real need when somebody is putting money on the table. If I found that there is a high demand, next step is I check. Is the different characteristic and tools and abilities in job description are within my capabilities or not? If not, I need to align with the market. If yes, there is a different alternative, which is what is the next best bet after solution architect?
That's super valuable advice that you gave now, and although it's very intuitive and kind of simple to a certain level, there is a lot of these type of advices that very few people are actually following. So we're going to emphasize this with a couple of snippets and quotes just to try to send the message and convey, because at the end of the day, it's not that complicated, and the answer to my question is at the end of the day pretty simple. I think this is a good introduction to a next topic that I would like to talk about, which is the project that you are working on. And this project seems to me, based on what we discussed so far, is filling in this gap pretty nicely. Can you tell me a bit more about it?
Sure. In fact, I observed in the past years that workforce enablement and career development, even though, as you just said, they are common sense, and they are required by almost everybody. Not everybody is doing it, and many of the people who are doing it, they are doing it wrong. Many people believe that in order to get a good job, you need to have the right network, you need to have the right nationality, or to be in the right place, or you need maybe to compromise on your values, which is not definitely true. The marketplace is a fair place. If we offer the right capability to the marketplace, the marketplace will not discriminate against you. The marketplace will give you a fair value to your capability. So in the past years, I personally observed many professionals around me struggling to progress in their career. And personally, maybe I was a bit lucky early in my career. I discovered that I need to work on my profile to develop myself. And quickly from Tunisia to Canada to Qatar to UAE, this path helped me to multiply drastically my salary. So multiplied more than 20 times, more than 30 times. I will not give exact number because let's say it's not really relevant for everyone to know, but it is definitely a thing that could be replicated. I can assure it's much more than 30 times. The idea is the way to do it is repeatable. The way to do it is known, and it is summarizing some of the information I just shared with you. Here I will tell you just a story. That story helped me to be much more convinced that, Marouan, you need to invest more in career enablement and workforce transformation to help as much people as possible around the globe, not only the people that you are directly mentoring. This story started about 5 years ago. I was in a shopping mall, in a grocery, and my son has met with one of the grocery clerk there. And he said, "Hey, Dad, come to meet Hosni. Hosni is from Tunisia as well. Come to meet him." I say, "Hey, hello, Hosni. My name is Marouan. Nice meeting you." And I started knowing him. So he was, at that point in time, a clerk managing the vegetable section. After talking to him, he said, "Marouan, what are you doing?" I explained my work, the kind of bracket of salary I was on, because to give him some kind of fact, he was asking about fact. So what kind of salary with this kind of role? So he was saying, unfortunately, I did also technology at some point in time in my career, because he was graduate from technology. But now you see, I'm working in something completely different, and I'm not seeing the other side of the tunnel. It is really a big struggle. I said to him, "If you are serious, I will help you." He said to me, "I am serious." So I kept going to that particular shop for 2-3 times without talking to him about that particular project. And he kept talking to me, "Hey, Marouan, when can we start? Hey, where can we start?" I said to him, "Okay, let's start." We started by initially changing his mindset. Stop going home and just sleeping, or going on Netflix, or going on Facebook. Stop wasting your time. Your time is very valuable. You need to invest in yourself. You are very valuable. Invest in yourself. And this is what I recommend to you as a technology to develop yourself. So I provided to him mainly 3 elements. One is motivating him to invest in himself and believe in himself. Second is helping him identify the right technology that is in demand in that particular market. Third, how to develop his expertise in that particular technology. And I promised to him, when you are ready, I will introduce you to headhunter and recruiters. And we worked together for a period of about 17 to 18 months. Can you guess what Hosni is today doing?
Well,
I think you guided me towards the answer that I say that he's probably an executive or a senior manager or a director in a technology company. But
today, Hosni is a data scientist.
Wow.
In one of the major company in the globe.
Wow.
This company is the global Japanese company.
Wow.
Some of his clients is BNP Paribas, the famous bank in France.
Yeah.
Second one is Zurich Insurance, the famous insurance is Switzerland. He is specialized in building data lakes, in building data analytics solution. And 6 months ago when I was talking to him, because we stayed in touch together, so we were talking, what is your current mandate? He said, Marouan, I was about to call you. I was presenting to the European Commission.
Wow.
He was presenting to the European Commission a solution named Elasticsearch, which is one specific component in the analytics platform. They were evaluating the implementation. Why they were calling, you believe, Hosni, who was in Middle East, having a very small salary, living in a very small apartment, and believing that this is it, this is his life. Now he has a car, he has an apartment, and he's yesterday I was talking to him. He was going to the border of Belgium and Netherlands because Brussels is a bit hot. Brussels is hot. I'm not talking about any other place in the world. Brussels for him is becoming hot, so he can afford to go to Netherlands and to have a good. So he's enjoying his life. He's taking care of his brothers, so he has 3 brothers and his mother, and he's funding them. Now they are all following his path. This is the way. During the 17 months when he was preparing, he invested 2 hours a day during the whole business week and 1 day a week for his personal development every day during 17 to 18 months. During that period, many of his friends, the type A, were asking him, what are you doing? You are crazy. You have a job. Why do you need to learn? And that was the story of Hosni. After seeing that kind of transfer, I said, Marouan, you need to meet more with people like this to help them. So now we are building a platform that will onboard people to help them identify their potential, the best technology, and how to get that technology in order to get to that curve of 17, 18 months and be eligible for a much better position, much better role they deserve. And I believe everyone in this life deserves better.
Wow. I think the story is absolutely amazing. It's going to blow away a lot of people. And if the previous story didn't inspire them, this one definitely has to inspire them. And I would like to stop here and to stop with this impact that we just left. I would like to thank you, Marouan, for coming to the Change podcast. It was an absolute pleasure having you here, and I personally learned a lot. And I hope that we will see you maybe in a year or so, just to reflect on our conversation.
Thank you very much, Rook. It was a pleasure being here. Thank you very much to your audience, and keep up the good work. Make the change happen.
Thank you. Thanks everyone for staying with us until the end of the episode. I hope that you liked it. We are really going to appreciate if you follow our channel and stay with us. The next episode is coming out on Monday, and we'll see you then. Thank you, Marouan. Thanks everyone. Have a good day. Bye.